mind you, I don't understand why you make it mandatory for EVs, but at the same time now you have to play catch up in order to facilitate the running of EVs on our local streets. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Parts Talk. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. As you know, my program tries to bring you news, views and reviews from all across, all walks of the automotive industry, but specifically on dealership management. As you know, I was a parts manager for over 20 years, but we try to do as best as we can with as little as we have. So without further ado, let's go into today's story.
From inside Community Spirits Liquor Store, Mirko Moorhawk has a clear view of the street outside, including what used to be a BC Hydro electric vehicle charging station. Recently, he has seen some unhappy motorists after the station severely damaged their vehicles.
Well, I probably would be too if my car would not start after the charging session and I had to tow it away. Definitely big inconvenience, yeah.
Moorhawk used the station for his Tesla and had no problems. But these two Nissan Leafs were damaged, one owned by Jenny Sobchak, who has been...
And the funniest thing about these new EVs is that once the battery goes dead or anything happens to the car, they're so heavy, they have to be towed away instantly. It's not like combustion engine where you can actually put it in neutral and push the car to the side and then wait on help to come. They're dead as a doornail right on the spot, so it makes it rather difficult, especially if the owners are women. So you're gonna have to have a lot of money or walk with your credit card that is heavily stacked with a high balance, rather a high limit.
It's been quoted a huge repair bill.
Figure the latest they've said would be 6,200 plus taxes, and that's because the part alone is over 5,000, and then I guess because it's maybe deeply embedded in the battery, it's at least another 1,000 or so on top for labor.
The charging station is now out of service. BC Hydro says it's investigating the matter and compensation is being considered.
So what happened?
So BC Hydro, this is out of British Columbia in Canada. And to replace the battery, she says it's estimated to cost her over $6,000. However, if you take a look at past instances where customers have complained about Tesla, the initial cost to replace a battery in a Tesla Model 3 and up is over $20,000. So if you're looking to buy a Tesla, you have to take into consideration that amount of cost, maintenance cost, if one of these batteries go bad, because the battery is embedded inside the car itself and it takes a number of procedures by the mechanics to get to those replacement parts. Now, you're going to have to go out of pocket for most of these instances.
What happened is the power module in both of the vehicles were damaged, and that's what helps them kind of adjust voltage. So we are right now working with both of the drivers that were impacted. They're working through our claims process. We're taking this one really seriously.
BC Hydro have acknowledged a claim, but they say it could be up to 30 days for a decision. So I'm just going to go ahead and pay it and keep my fingers crossed that they'll accept some responsibility and reimburse.
In Horseshoe Bay, it was...
Yeah, because you're going to need all the paperwork and the proof and the report from the dealership that is doing the battery replacement, or a garage, whichever shop she actually sends the vehicle to in order to have the battery replaced. And then either insurance takes care of it, or like the Hydro representative here says, they have to do all the necessary investigation inside that charging station itself.
The only EV charging station used by many people awaiting ferries, including tourists.
And it's definitely a lot of people do come charge over here, either going to the ferry, going to the Squamish.
Mirko Moorhawk and countless others are hopeful it will be replaced in the near future and that no more cars will be damaged. Catherine Urquhart, Global News.
I'm sure we've heard of cases in the past where combustion engines have been damaged by faulty fuel stations, and those had to be replaced as well. And those are long-standing. It happens in a number of countries. I've seen it happen personally. And also, customers sometimes make the mistake and add in diesel inside a gasoline engine. And that also led to the removal and replacement of the fuel tank itself, along with the lines and the flushing of the system entirely. And that cost a hefty sum for that particular customer. It has happened. Ask any mechanic, they've seen it before. Another thing is parts department and dealerships and parts warehouses are going to require a lot more spaces if they're going to be thinking of storing batteries, because similar instances of these situations are going to happen from time to time. Hopefully the logistics will be in place. Just-in-time inventory is what is taking place right now, and also we'll have a lot more confidence in how dealerships and garages handle EVs in the very near future. Okay, so let's take a look at another video here. Same place in British Columbia, where it has been mandated to add more electric charging station. Mind you, I don't understand why you make it mandatory for EVs, but at the same time now you have to play catch up in order to facilitate the running of EVs on our local streets. Let's take a look.
Vancouver City Council is going to boost the number of electric vehicle chargers in the city. City Council approved a controversial motion requiring all gas stations and commercial parking lots to install EV charging infrastructure.
Why does it have to be a controversial motion when it has already been tabled that we are moving full stream ahead with electric vehicles after 2030, and the majority of the vehicles on the road should be EVs by 2035? I just don't understand this legislation.
Infrastructure by 2025, or risk paying higher business licensing fees. Council says the new policy will distribute charging more evenly across the city. It will also better support renters who may not have charging stations at home. Ultimately, the city wants charging stations within a 10-minute drive of every resident.
Because of the vast dealership network we have across the entire United States of America and Canada, most customers already have a dealership, a garage, or a fuel station within 10 minutes of where they reside. This is nothing new. It's like we're counting the chicken before they actually hatches, and we're always playing catching up. I don't know why we always have politicians making decisions without the best interest of what is going forward, without the proper policies and procedures being in place and actually looking at the research that is already there. And these are the things we live by on an everyday basis, of people making the decisions for us and then telling us what to do without doing the necessary research. Well, that's just my 2 cents. So let me know what you think about this video by leaving your comments below. Remember to grab a copy of my ebook, The Parts Manager Guide. Please smash that like button on your way out. It will only take you 1.5 seconds to do so. Until next time.